According to Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, there are two types of systems that affect a student. The first system, the microsystem, is the activities, social roles, and relationships that a child has face-to-face experience with. Examples of microsystems include work, school, neighborhoods, family, and etc. The second type of system is the macrosystem. This refers to the overarching institutions, cultural norms, settings, and systems that surround a child. Both of these systems work separately and together to influence a student. In this study, we examine how these systems affect a specific student, Skylar. Skylar is a kindergartner in a special education classroom at Bingham Elementary School in downtown Lansing. This is his second year in a kindergarten classroom. He was held back because he was not at the correct level academically to move on to first grade. His hobbies include centers and playing outside with his 164 friends. This is how Skylar's teacher, Mrs. Grass, describes Skylar as a student.
It depends on whether he wants to perform well. He's more motivated at certain times than he is at others, but as far as at level, I would say that he's ready to go on to first grade, and hopefully once first grade starts, he'll be where he should be, and it won't show that he had to stay back any. So,
you want to go on to first grade next year?
I'm going to first grade.
You're going to first grade? Wow! Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited because we got tables, our own tables that can open.
Yeah, your own desks.
Yeah.
When you go on to high school, do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
A motorcycle rider.
Motorcycle rider. Is there anything else you want to do?
Be science.
You want to be scientist?
Yeah, and a motorcycle rider.
There are two main contexts that we believe influence Skylar more than any other: school climate and school funding. Bingham Elementary School is located in a low-income neighborhood. When observing the surroundings that encompass the school, there were an unbelievable amount of evicted houses and houses with serious damage. In one block, we found 3 evicted homes and 3 homes that were deemed inappropriate for living due to fire damage. As an indicator of this poverty, during the 2009-2010 school year, 267 of the 277 students qualified for a free or reduced lunch. This accounts for 97% of the student body. Despite this major challenge, the school community has banded together to form a tightly knit bond. When we talked to Mrs. Grass, she described this sentiment in depth.
There's just a lot going on here that I think the district doesn't realize what we get here, and as far also the attachment that a lot of families have, specifically sending their kids here because so many generations have attended this building, and now it's like just a big letdown for them.
In addition, the school provides a survival kit for families that are in need. This survival kit consists of canned goods and is given out on Fridays before the weekend. Also, the school hosts various family fun nights that include games and activities for the students and their families. They also invite parents to come to school to eat daily with them. These types of activities encourage parent and family involvement within the school, which in turn makes for a more open, caring environment. Parental involvement also adds to the school environment by making the students feel like they have a support system both within the school and outside of it. Various studies document that these aspects of school culture and climate lead to better academic achievement and socio-emotional health. For example, a brief by MSU Outreach about school climate and learning cited 19 studies that found an association between a caring school environment and higher grades, engagement, and aspirations of students. Therefore, being surrounded by such a caring environment promotes Skylar's learning cognitively, socially, and emotionally. Despite these positive aspects of Bingham's school climate, there are still quite a few features that require improvement. One of these is Skylar's classroom. Bingham was originally supposed to have 2 kindergarten classrooms, each with 20 students. The total amount of students ended up reaching upwards of 35 per classroom. Because of this, the school needed to construct another kindergarten class. This ended up being constructed of the lower achieving students and the students with behavioral problems. As a result, the teacher, Mrs. Grass, spends the majority of her time disciplining behavioral issues. Being surrounded by such a chaotic environment affects Skylar's cognitive growth. This is because Mrs. Grass is incapable of giving him the one-on-one attention he deserves. and the one-on-one attention he requires to succeed academically. In addition, the classroom environment impacts Skylar socially, as the children often distract one another and play off each other's negative behavior. During his most formative years, Skylar is learning how not to act in a classroom, which may impact him in the future. Lastly, the classroom climate impacts him emotionally. Due to the little learning that occurs in the classroom, Skylar rarely gets the chance to express his emotions positively. There's a constant vying for attention, and Skylar demonstrates his frustration by acting out. In these ways, the chaotic classroom environment impacts Skylar cognitively, socially, and emotionally. All in all, despite the care that Bingham takes to create a caring, welcoming community within the school, in individual classrooms, the climate may be very different and impact the students in negative ways.
The second system we believe impacts Skylar's life is school funding. Bingham Elementary School is closing for the 2012-2013 school year due to cuts in educational funding by the state government. According to an article in the Lansing Star written by Kate Mudgett, the Lansing public school system has an estimated $30 million deficit in its budget. As a result, the district is shutting down 3 elementary schools, and Bingham is one of them. Skylar is greatly impacted by this decision.
School's going to be closed forever next year.
Oh, I know this school is closed. How do you feel about the school closing? You upset?
No.
No? Why aren't you upset?
I'm sad.
You're really sad. Why are you sad?
Because school's closing next year.
The school closing affects Skylar socially, emotionally, and cognitively. Transitioning and adapting to a new school is a difficult task for elementary school-aged children. Skylar is going to have to adjust to a new classroom rather than the one he has been in for the last 2 years. He will be forced to make new friends and learn how to deal with a new teacher. His cognitive, social, and emotional growth will depend on how well he can make the transition to a new school. The school closing also affects Skylar's parents. There is still confusion regarding where Skylar and his siblings are going to end up next year. They may decide to leave the district altogether and seek an education elsewhere. If this is the case, his parents may not have the opportunity to be as involved in Skylar's education. Without this support system, Skylar may not feel the sense of community in his new school that he did at Bingham, which may negatively impact his academic achievement. In addition, the school closing has a tremendous impact on Bingham neighborhood, which is Skylar's place of residence. Bingham is truly a neighborhood school, and the school closing has upset many of the families that live in the surrounding neighborhood. Currently, the school solidifies the relationships between the families in the neighborhood and provides them with much-needed support. Without this foundation for their community, the sense of camaraderie that exists within Bingham neighborhood may diminish as the residents go their separate ways. This will impact Skylar because not only will he no longer be provided with support from the school, but his support system in the neighborhood may also diminish. As demonstrated, the context of school funding impacts various aspects of Skylar's life, including his school, family, and neighborhood. In conclusion, Bingham Elementary School does a lot for the surrounding community and a lot for Skylar. This is reflected in the school environment. Unfortunately, due to the lack of school funding, everything in this community will change. The citizens that rely on Bingham, Skylar's family included, are going to be forced to adapt to a new school and a new environment. Perhaps this environment will be equally as open and bonded as Bingham, or perhaps it won't. Either way, there are big changes coming for the students, teachers, staff, and families of Bingham Elementary School.
You know how you want to go to the college I want to go to? Yeah. Do you ever know when a person says, "Go green," you know what you're supposed to say?
Go green?
You say, "Go white." Go green.
Go white.